Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Dave.
And join us every Thursday for a new episode of Two Player Bros, a podcast about two guys who play way too many video games. Join me and Dave as we talk about the latest in Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and VR news, previews, and reviews. We have it all, and we play it all.
And join us every other week for Post Game, where we play through and dive deep into our favorite modern classics and new releases.
That's Two Player Bros, available every Thursday wherever you get your podcast, part of the Forgotten Entertainment family.
Hello there, I'm Colleen.
I'm Anders.
And I'm Daniel.
We're three nerds that met through our love of science fiction and fantasy storytelling. Of course, one of our favorites is George Lucas's signature achievement, Star Wars.
And if there's one thing the internet definitely doesn't have enough of, it's nerds talking about Star Wars. So here we are with yet another Star Wars podcast, where each week we discuss one of the films in the current Star Wars canon.
From the sands of Tatooine to the levels of Coruscant, we cover it all. Yet another Star Wars podcast is available wherever you get your podcast and is part of the Forgotten Entertainment family.
Hello there, and welcome nerdy knights of the well-rounded table to Bohemian Geek Studies, where we take extremely dorky dives into our favorite fandoms. I am Anders Drew, your system's resident pirate Jedi.
And I'm Captain Daniel O'Brien of the Republic Navy, but no matter what rank you carry, one thing remains constant. Much to learn we still have.
Absolutely, and today we are so excited to give our initial reactions and theories for the new episode of The Bad Batch. There will be spoilers this episode, as well as some rampant theorizing about what's coming in future episodes. So if you want to avoid that, tune into our Rebels coverage and see what the Ghost Crew is up to instead. But if you've seen this episode of The Bad Batch, grab a drink from the mess, come with us to Pantara as we discuss The Bad Batch Episode 4, Cornered. But before we get into it, just want to take a second to tell you guys all about our new partnership with Fiverr. Do you need help with your new website? Whether it's with a designer, or maybe you need someone to help you write some expert articles or blog posts, or maybe you need an expert presentation designer to help with their next big work project. Look no further than the #1 freelance marketplace, Fiverr. You can find designers, programmers, and more within seconds, some for as low as just $5 per gig. Fiverr is the ideal tool to help you with pressing projects. Just post your gig or search for freelancers and you're off. Don't deal with the hassle of finding freelancers by yourself. Let Fiverr help you. See the link in our show notes to get started. Please note, Bohemian Geek Studies is an affiliate partner of Fiverr, so we may receive commissions on purchases and services you buy after you click the link. These commissions help support the growth of BGS, and we appreciate your continued support. But Daniel, let's get into this episode. Can you please punch it with the episode recap?
Yeah, so we start off and the Bad Batch needs supplies. So they head over to Pantera to get some rations and modify their ship to scramble its signature. After they bribe the manager to not scan their ship, he promptly informs a mystery outsider that the ship she's looking for is there.
There's always room for profit on all sides.
Always. Also, that, oh my gosh, like, come on, man. Immediately, you couldn't have waited like 5 seconds for them to get a little farther away, but whatever.
No.
So at a local pawn shop, Hunter is forced to sell Echo, who they have disguised as a droid, in order to get some credits that they desperately need.
And while that's all going down, Omega manages to run off. I mean, she's excited. She's getting to explore. She sees these cute little animals, and they steal the doll that she doesn't want to have to pay for losing. But then she is found by the mysterious stranger from earlier. And it is, of course, Fennec Shand. This was the great moment.
Awesome ship.
Awesome ship. So Fennec says that she's going to help this little one find her friends. But then Hunter catches up, and Fennec promptly holds Omega at gunpoint. A fight ensues, including a really awesome knife fight between Fennec and Hunter.
Yes.
And Omega managed to escape into the maintenance tunnels. Wrecker very, very cutely finds her there and tells her to flee when Fennec catches up. Fennec then again takes down Wrecker very easily and chases Omega up the maintenance tower.
Oh my gosh. So from there, Fennec snatches Omega once again and a speeder chase ensues. Hunter, on a stolen speeder, manages to rescue Omega and make it back to the ship, which Echo has helped repair and finish modifying with the help of the droids from the shop. The Bad Batch make their escape, and Fennec chooses not to kill the port manager. She radios her employer to appraise them of the situation. Man, what an action-packed episode.
This was really action-packed. I was a little worried about it at the beginning. It was kind of like, are we just spinning our wheels here for a second? And then we just got right into it. But a little bit more, let's get into our reactions and favorite moments. Overall, yeah, I thought that this episode was good. At the end of the day, it had a really good balance of kind of like adventure of the week and serving this overall larger plot line.
Yes.
Of what's going down with the Bad Batch. I was a little surprised, especially after last week, that we didn't spend any time on Camino. We don't know what's going on with Crosshair and what's left of his new recruits. But I mean, my big reaction to this one, I was just so ready for Fennec to be there. We saw her in the trailer. Yes. I love Ming-Na Wen. Shouts to, again, Agent May on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Nice.
Always love her. And I've just been really pumped to know how she was going to come into it. I think it was actually pretty funny. I think I predicted that Fennec would come around and the Bad Batch would need supplies. Now, I thought maybe they would team up with her to do that, but they did still come together for that. Couple things I would like to know. Why doesn't Omega have comms? Like, if she is a member of the team, like, why is she
getting lost? Give her a phone.
Yeah, just give her a phone. She needs a cell phone. She needs an earpiece, like, so she could talk to you like you are all talking to each other.
Oh my gosh.
My one other major question out of this episode. Okay, so Omega, again, I know she's naive, like she's just a kid, but she has thus far grown up on Camino, where they built the clone army of the Republic from Jango Fett and are constantly whining about the fact that they don't have access to bounty hunter Jango Fett's DNA. How does she not know what a bounty hunter is?
She must have been very well shielded from all of that talk.
That was what they like. It was kind of a cute moment showing her naivete, or however you pronounce that. Naivete. But I was like, really? You're all clones of Jango and you don't know what a bounty hunter is?
That's a very good point. So I really enjoyed this episode. I'm very pleasantly surprised how much they get Omega into these situations because she's a kid, but it never feels so grating like some TV kid characters feel. Like, she feels like a natural part of the world. Like, she doesn't feel like a kind of tacked on character. So I love Omega, and this episode was great because, like, when Fennec starts shooting at Hunter, she immediately grabs Fennec's hands and is trying to like protect him. Like, she has that mix of childish behavior where she runs after the little dogs, while at the same time, like, she's willing to get right in the action. So this one did a lot for my Omega love. And Fennec, what a great way. Like, we get to see Fennec be a badass. I really hope that this means we're going to see more of her, because the way they left that episode off, like,
we have to see more of her.
Plus, she has an amazing ship. You know how I love ships. Show me more of her ship. Show me more of Fennec.
Her ship and the Marauder getting into a space battle. Is that how you want like a mid-season finale then, Daniel?
I can only hope. Plus, I got a speeder chase. Like, come on. They were feeding me this episode.
Definitely. I think so. Normally I'm all about tech in these episodes, and I was when they asked about like, oh, you can mask our signature, and he was like, of course I can. That's not hard. We just have to let it do it. Yeah. But this episode, I gotta say, in addition to a lot of good Omega building, I was all about Wrecker. Like, all of my favorite moments in this episode have to do with Wrecker. Like, when they have to bribe the port manager and he doesn't quite understand at the beginning.
Yes.
Then they do. And he's like, oh, I hand you money and you do that. We got this whole civilian thing down, man. We're doing it. And then it was like the absolute perfect sandwich of moments where he goes from just tell me what ship parts to rip out, which again, laughing the whole time, to that really, it was actually a very nice, like, tender, sweet moment when he finds Omega. Like, of course we found you, kid.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Promptly followed by getting his ass beat by Fennec because he just charged into it. It was like the perfect sandwich of like hilarious, tender, hilarious, going into all of it. And he had that
They
like
do a really good job of showing how he's just like that tender-hearted guy underneath the scarier exterior. And I really like how they have the two of them bonding like that.
yeah. What about you, Daniel? What were your favorite moments out of this one?
I mean, so take a drink because guess what I'm going to say? A speeder chase.
Chase.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to talk ships. That's just who I am. So I love that speeder chase. Finnick was brutal during that. Just turns around, one shots the Pantoran police officer who just goes spiraling into the other one. Like that was brutal. They were just going at it in the middle of that street. I thought that was just what a cool set piece to like end the episode on. I thought Echo arguing with the price of his supposed droid self with Hunter. He's like, okay, I'll do it, but not for that price. Like, no, you're worth Echo. I'm proud of you.
Nice little callback moment later on when he tells the shopkeeper, like, you got me for a bargain.
Exactly, Echo. Know your worth. Also, I thought it was so sweet that Finnick was offered a place in the crew by Omega. I was like, oh, Omega, you're just such a sweet girl. But also, Finnick, yes, maybe it's in season 2. I don't know, but I hope at some point they come together and actually are part of a team for just a little bit of it. If she's going to be an enemy the whole time, I'm fine with that. But also, I would love to see them kick some ass together.
Definitely, definitely. All right, and on that note, it's time to get into our Easter eggs, connections, and callbacks from this episode. And first up, right there at the beginning, all you Rebels fans will know it, scrambling that signature. This ability, which makes it appear that your ship is another ship on everyone else's scopes, because of course, out in space, you're not physically looking at the ships in front of you, you're just getting scans of them, is one of the call signs of the Ghost from Star Wars Rebels, and the crew uses the ability to get out of some pretty sticky situations. Notably, that time that they had to smuggle Lando and some, let's call it organic mining equipment onto a planet.
Oh, man. Always love seeing Lando appear. So we also see Pantora. That's the moon that orbits the planet Plutonia, which is the focus of the Clone Wars episode Sphere of Influence back in season 4. So in that episode, Ahsoka worked to overcome a separatist kidnapping plot designed to force the planet into leaving the Republic. So nice seeing the old Pantorans again, the blue skin aliens.
Yes, I did see a couple people online today ask if these guys were related to the Chiss. Although they have blue skin, they are not. And also the character that George Lucas cameos as in Revenge of the Sith is, I believe, a Pantoran.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he shows up at the opera with Palpatine.
Oh, yeah. Nice. I'm going to have to go back and look at that.
Next up, we have that, I'm going to call him pretty ugly manager of the spaceport. He is a Seleucid, but he is the same species as our dear, and I always forget how to pronounce this. I
think Nien
Nien Nunb, who is the co-pilot of the Millennial Falcon with Lando during the Battle of Endor and Return of the Jedi. He also shows up again as a member of the Resistance during the sequel trilogy, and he just had the greatest laugh. I remember Lando gets so excited, he's just like, yeah.
Nien, awesome, love him. The hangar manager, not cool.
No,
not
fuck that guy.
Oh man. So Liberty dies with thunderous applause. We get the cheering crowd at the parade, and it's just so happy, and they're probably very ignorant of the real situation, just as the Senate was in Revenge of the Sith, when they're all cheering and have no idea that this is all Palpatine's grand plan that he's been working towards.
Yeah, when what's his name is on the hologram, and he's just like, yes, get your chain code and exchange all your credits. They're like, yeah,
track cool
us.
Money with the Empire.
Yeah, slap an ID number on us so you can track us everywhere. Totally.
Oh, you guys have no idea how bad it's gonna get.
Ooh. Next up, we mentioned her already, but Fennec Shand, again, played by Ming-Na Wen, originally introduced during The Mandalorian Season 1, came back to play a pretty big role in Season 2, and then when fans saw her in the Bad Batch trailer, everyone was really excited. I will
Mhm.
say I was actually a little surprised when she had her helmet off in this episode. Obviously, she looks exactly like Ming Na Wen because that is who the character is modeled after. But I thought she looked a little old in this episode, considering this is about 30 years before her appearance in The Mandalorian. Somewhere between 20 and 30 years, I want to say.
I thought she looked a little bit younger in this. Maybe, I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch again.
Yeah, I was a little, but either way, being active as a bounty hunter for 30 plus years and still being alive at the time of Mandalorian, good on. She's obviously knows what
Right?
she's doing.
Yeah, she's a badass. She's here for a reason. Love it.
Absolutely. Calling the cavalry.
Oh my gosh. We also get a Lothcat sighting. We always love Lothcats. More broadly called a Tuca. These guys are all over Star Wars, and yeah, we love them. Take a
Love
drink for
them.
a Lothcat.
Drink for the cats. Drink for Lula,
Yeah, Lula.
the Tuca doll. Other critter we see in this episode, we get Vorpax. These adorable little dog things that sort of unintentionally lure Omega away from Hunter are featured heavily in Star Wars Resistance. And I think that's actually the only other place we've seen them before. So if you're curious about these guys, check out Resistance. I think it's worth it.
Nice. I was wondering where they were from.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also get the Grand Shopkeeper. So the Grand are native to the planet Kenyan, I believe. Kenyan.
Kinyan,
I
I
have
think.
Kenyan. I have never seen that in writing before. Kinyen. So they have appeared throughout Star Wars, most probably prominently seen as senators. And then there's also one as a pod racer in the Phantom Menace. Rest in peace to you. Sorry you crashed.
I mean, they all did, let's face it.
They all did. And I will just go on the record now. I am a proud pod racer supporter. So all about it.
All right, and last up, we have the truck driver at the end. The kind of dump truck driver that Fennec and Omega are escaping on is an Aqualish, and I always just think these guys look goofy. I mean,
Yeah,
kind of. I'll say it. It's a baboon butt face.
it is. It really is.
It really is. Even though they might look goofy, though, you don't want to piss one off.
No.
If they're anything like Ponda Baba from the Mos Eisley Cantina in A New Hope, you will have to chop their arm off in order for them to leave you alone. So, not a good thing.
Whew. Yeah, I'll just steer clear. Not pretty.
Nope. All right, and that is going to do it for today. But before we go, let's get into our predictions or questions for the next episode. Now, so we're about a quarter of the way through the season. So it might be a little bit too fast to ask Fennec to come back like right in the next episode.
Mhm.
But if it's not next week, I'm going to say we're going to get her back within another week or two, because I think we need one more episode with Fennec in order for her then to come back in like the later part of the season, like one more in the next couple of weeks. And then she reappears again, like in episode 14, maybe, to kind of resolve that storyline. I think we're going to find out in the next couple of weeks who hired her, because we don't actually know. She never directly speaks to them. We never hear them. You know, is it the Kaminoans trying to get Omega back? Because the Empire, as far as we know, is pretty focused on just taking out the Bad Batch. I don't know if they even know Omega is with them, who Omega is at this point. Or could maybe... I mean, she's a bounty hunter. He's currently working with some bounty hunters. Could she be talking to Boba? Teenage Boba out to find his sister. You know, maybe he needs access to another clone for something.
Huh. So that's a good point, because the easy answer is the Kaminoans, because we know that they are trying to recover Omega, and then we see Fennec going and getting the mysterious call, but we don't hear. So like you're kind of implied that it's Kaminoans.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that it could be this outside force that we don't know about yet. Yeah, that's an interesting twist on it. That's a good call.
What about you? What do you think is going to happen in the next couple of weeks?
I have a feeling, because I'm glad you mentioned this earlier, that we didn't get anything from Kamino this week, or anything from Crosshair. I feel like the Kamino intrigue is going to start bubbling up more in the next episode or two. Mm-hmm. I'm feeling like it's going to be a slow simmer across the season. but we're going to get like little bits of info at a time. And I feel like we're due for one, like the first big nugget of information about Camino. So I feel like that's coming soon.
I like that idea. Yeah, I think definitely it's going to go over the full season. If not, maybe spill into season 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. But what do you guys think? Hit us up on social media and find out. And that is going to be it for the Bad Batch for today. So follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us those 5-star reviews. Check out our website at bohemiangeekstudies.com, where you can watch all of our episodes. Enjoy Colleen's Book Corner, where she's reviewing Star Wars literature. You know what, Daniel? A quick little toast here. It was Colleen's birthday a couple days ago. She couldn't be here with us tonight, but
Yeah.
cheers
So
to
happy
Colleen.
birthday, Colleen.
Happy birthday, Colleen. Mal says hi. And as always, keep telling other nerdy knights to join us. It really helps. You can also head to ForgottenEntertainment.com, check out all the offerings in the Forgotten Entertainment family, including yet another Star Wars podcast, where Daniel, myself, and Colleen are reviewing the films in the Star Wars canon. Until next time, chain code cards up and keep those episodes streaming. So long, everybody.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, Dan, thanks for being here.